Hello, hello, everybody. It's 8 o'clock in Adelaide. Awesome. All right, just waiting for this Facebook Live thingy to kick in. Here we go. Hi, everybody. It's Lisa Wells from Food, Fear, and Freedom, helping you create more consistent, healthy days for yourself using the 5 phases to food freedom blueprint. So, thank you so much for everyone that has jumped into this incredible group, the Adelaide Women's Emotional Eating Support Group. So, we're over 200 incredible members here right now, which is absolutely incredible. So, I applaud you for being in this group and thank you for contributing. Hey Jackie, thanks for jumping on. Great to see you. I know this can be a topic that has got a lot of different. Hey Shani, thanks for jumping on. There's a lot of different sort of feelings. That's all very individual and personal for everyone. So I know that sometimes it does take a lot of courage to comment. And the more interactive you are, the more you're going to send that message to your brain that you are ready for change. We need to let the brain know that we're ready to change. And by interacting in here tonight, you'll certainly be sending that message out to your brain. So I fully encourage any sort of interaction. This is a safe place to do it. You're fully supported. So say good day as you're jumping on. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you've got your slippers on, you've got a cup of tea. What are you doing at your place tonight? I know you're watching me, which is fantastic. I've just had my peppermint tea, and yes, I have got my slippers on under here as well. Okay, so just a quick intro about me while people are still jumping on. So I had food addiction for 10 years, and yeah, it was a tough ride. It really started when I had my first child. I was overcome with so much emotion. I didn't quite know how to manage it. I wasn't, like a lot of people in society, not really taught. Oh, hey, Wendy, you're from Melbourne. That's okay. Everybody is welcome here. I've had this group for a few years now, and it has morphed and changed. So you're certainly welcome here. And yeah, so having all these emotions that I just wasn't equipped to deal with, were not really taught in society how to handle our emotions. And as children, we're told a lot to stop crying, to stop being silly when we have a feeling and things like that. So our brain learns how to protect us and keep us safe. So it puts us away. And that's what happened to me, and that's what I did. And that was my kind of reaction to what was happening in my life at the time. Shani's having a peppermint tea too. I know, it's just the best, isn't it? Maddie from Modbury have been working on your garden journal tonight. Okay, well, that sounds lovely. Welcome, welcome everybody. Okay, so this is, like I said, it's an interactive workshop here tonight. So I hope you've got a pen and some paper ready. We're going to nut out a few things now. This is pretty much a hot topic right now. So, how to be more prepared and organized with healthy food. And why would we want to? Why is this important? Well, being prepared and organized can only lead to success. If you're not prepared and organized, you are just going to be left out in the wild, not knowing what meal's coming next. What are you going to do for that next snack? When you get hungry, what are you going to do? We need to have some plans in place to support your health goals. This is really, really important. And because, I've been food obsessed and still am a bit food obsessed, I need to know where my next meal is coming from. So, planning and being organized with my food just is one less thing in my head that I have to think about in a day. So, just have a think about that for a moment. Just if it was all organized and planned for you and you didn't even have to think about, oh, what am I having for breakfast tomorrow? I already know. The whole week, I know what I'm having. Okay, so does that resonate? Would that make your life easier if you did a little bit of planning and preparing ahead? Hey, Shirley Ann, thanks for joining us from Newcastle. I know you've been a long time fan of mine, so I really appreciate that you're here tonight. I know you'll get a lot out of tonight as well. Um, so, yeah, planning and, we're not expecting you to go from wherever you're at now to being some sort of meal planning superstar. That's not the goal. We don't need to be perfect at this. Okay, so one of my first tips is to start small. What can you manage? Can you just manage the next 2 days? Can you just plan and map out the next 2 days worth of food? It would be a dream to be organized. I know, Jackie, it would be. And I was never a fan of being in the kitchen. I can tell you when my husband and I met, he's an amazing cook. I'm a great cook too now. I can follow a recipe and I smash out some pretty good meals. Hey, Samantha, thanks for joining us from Henley Beach. Oh, the beach, you're so lucky. So I used to, I can smash out some good meals now, definitely. But I had to train myself to enjoy it. So my husband and I met. We would cook in the kitchen all the time. I'd probably be the sous chef, the one that does all the cleaning up, and he would just cook these amazing masterpieces. And we spent a lot of time in the kitchen together, and that was how our love formed. And we made babies and stuff like that. And then we had babies, and then he would be off to work, and he had a demanding job, and he wasn't home till 7 at night. So here I am being resentful in the kitchen. My thoughts turned toxic. So it wasn't fabulous that I was having these toxic thoughts. Here I am again, all alone, being resentful in the kitchen, having to do this all myself. You know the story. So Shani, I have been so unprepared. This has led to some breakdowns in your goals and diet. Yep, definitely. I have come a long way with my cooking. Sometimes you can see my posts on my Facebook page, definitely, and Jackie too. So yeah, being unprepared, it does lead to some kinks in the goal, definitely. So, okay, let's start. So, my first tip has been to start small. Okay, so just let's have a look at the next couple of days. Is your breakfast prepared? What have you got? A couple of options for healthy breakfasts. I know there's a few people here who are on meal plans, so that's easy enough to do. That's the preparation is done for you. So, just what is easy for you and what is nutritional. It's really got to be healthy, especially breakfast. It's got to be a good start to the day. So what I do, the breakfast I make up is 3 serves worth. So I only have to make my breakfast every 3 days. So I portion it up, keep it in the fridge. It's ready to go for 3 mornings a week, which is fabulous because on Monday mornings I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be at the gym to work. As a health coach, I need that breakfast to be ready to go. So it's got to be. I have to grab it and go, and that's great. So that's a great way to be prepared. And also the second tip was you don't have to be a meal planning superstar. Just start small and build a habit. So like any habit, we're going to build on it. Okay, so you can compartmentalize some things. So I always, on a Sunday, I've got meal planning on a Sunday in my phone, in my diary, 10 o'clock in the morning. Supermarkets up here in the Adelaide Hills open at 11. So that gives me an hour to prepare what we're going to eat as a family. I normally just do dinners because I will have for lunch what I have for dinner the night before. So we make extra. And then, I'll just in the shopping list add the extra stuff for the kids' lunches and breakfasts and whatever. Good idea, brekkie, 3 days in a row. Yeah, it is. And then on the weekends, when you've got more time, that's when you can have the big cook up with the bacon and eggs and mushrooms and avocado and tomato and all that kind of stuff, whatever you want. But on those time poor mornings, have something that's ready to go. Okay. So I will on a Sunday morning at about 10 o'clock sit down at the kitchen table armed with, some recipe books. Another little tip here is if you watch TV at night and on the commercial breaks you're on your phone on Facebook, go get some recipe books. And in 3 commercials worth of MasterChef, I can have my week's meals planned out and know what I'm eating. So where can we find ideas for breakfast that I can prepare in advance? All right, so Google is your best friend. What I actually do, people are probably going to think this is gross, but this is what I have for breakfast. I get a tin of coconut milk and I put it in the hot plate and I mix it up till it's warm. And I have chocolate protein powder in it. I've sort of been on the meal plan from Healthy Inspirations, and we are all about sort of protein. It's similar to keto, right? So I get the protein powder, it's chocolate, I put it in and I stir it all around, I mix it all around. And then I'll add 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and it becomes like a chocolate pudding. And then that's 3 serves. So a serve is just over half a cup. So I get my 3 containers out, half a cup in each container. And then when it's time to eat it, I have half a cup of raspberries, frozen raspberries, and I heat it up in the microwave, and it's a beautiful, warm brekkie to have on a cold morning. And that's what I have. So I guess coconut cream, it's a fat, it's like a healthy fat. So I have actually lost weight on that breakfast as well. I was a bit concerned. I wasn't sure how it would go, but I just loved it so much, and I just would have it every morning for breakfast, and I still do, and I love it. So it makes up 3 serves. But if you want to, Maddie, just Google, breakfast ideas that you can prepare in advance. So it also depends on what your idea of breakfast is. You could have things like some of the things that we do at Healthy Inspirations is you could have just like some ham and cheese because that's a protein. It's important to have protein in the morning to start your metabolism and get your body burning fat. So you can have some protein. So you have some cheese and ham. You might have some boiled eggs that you can sort of eat that are already prepared and peeled and just ready to eat. Um, I use the chocolate protein I use is the Healthy Inspirations one. So just whatever you can, generally if you're buying protein powders and supplements, whatever's the most expensive is mostly the better quality. So just get what you can afford. Even online, it's probably cheaper as well. There's some websites in Australia where you can get protein stuff cheaper as well online. Okay, so we want to get prepared. So, like I was saying, if you watch TV at night, grab a stack of recipe books and have them next to you. And in the commercial breaks, when you're normally on your phone, just get some recipe ideas and see what can you make for the next week and write them down. I just get a notepad and pen and I write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, I generally do Monday to Thursday because doing a whole 7 days is too much for me. I just do Monday to Thursday. Generally, my husband will cook on Friday nights anyway, or we'll have something a bit more convenient on a Friday night. So I just do 4 days at a time. It's easier for me in my head to have it all worked out that way. Yeah, so watching telly when MasterChef was on, I'd have all my books beside me, and just in the commercial breaks, I'd nut it out. So there's a couple of ways you can break it down. Sometimes I'll just put Thursday night fish, Wednesday night Mexican, Tuesday night chicken. So you can sort of break it down by protein or theme. So, pick a country. And the kids can help with this as well if you've got kids. Hey, Murray, thank you for joining us from Ashbourne, new to the group. Welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you here. So yeah, just break it down. It's really, if you're going from not being a meal prepper to wanting to be a meal prepper, just start small and break it down into small, easy steps. So theme nights are good. And then that way you can just Google, let's have Japanese one night. Let's Google what's a good Japanese, maybe some sort of noodle broth or something like that. Okay, let me know, is this helping? Let me know what sort of has been the most helpful thing so far that you've gotten, just so I know I'm hitting the mark here. All right, so the reason that we want to do it is because being prepared and organized leads to success. You know what to expect. It stops taking up room in your head, and you just know where your next meal's coming from, which is very handy. Hey Jody, you're going to do that 3 days in a row? Yes, as a week's worth is too much for your fridge. True. I love the idea of pudding for brekkie. Sounds yummy. It is. I love doing my protein shakes. I add so many things like cucumber, strawberries, vanilla, olive leaf extract. Yep, that's really good. Excellent. Awesome, Jody. Sounds like you're onto it. Shirley Ann, cook up grated ginger, garlic, shallots, and coconut oil. Look, guys, there's recipe ideas right here in this thread. That's amazing. All right, beautiful. Thanks for your comments, Shani. That's awesome. You're so supportive. Okay, so how are you going to make this fit into your life? This is the big question I feel that we are here to address tonight. Now, to me, try pudding for breakfast sounds nice. Yep, you usually do scrambled eggs with avo. Yum, that sounds awesome. How are you going to fit this into your life? So for me, I'm a Sunday girl. Sunday is my meal prep day, and all I do is I make a list of what I'm doing and I go grocery shopping for it. That's as far as it goes for me. And then I know what we're having every night, and it's all there in the fridge. Some people will go as far as cutting up florets of broccoli and cauliflower and having them in an airtight container. They will cut up the cabbage and the carrots and have them all ready to go. Some easy lunch and even dinner sometimes. If I'm working at the gym, I don't really get time to eat. So I will have just things like cherry tomatoes, snow peas, cucumber, and then my protein will just be some eggs, or I will have, some meat and cheese, the protein, just with some of those veggies and stuff. So that's the hardest part. How do I find the time? All right, Shani, so talk to me. Is there a day, a week? If it's not in your diary, it's not going to happen. Okay, so I know you're a busy lady, so talk to me. What is a day that you can set aside, probably 2 hours max? So maybe you can do the meal planning at night time. If you watch TV, I don't know what you do at night time, but you might be able to have some of these commercial break meal planning sessions with yourself and your partner. So do that, and then an hour for grocery shopping. So really that's 2 hours max. It probably doesn't even take an hour to do the meal planning bit, but the shopping probably takes an hour. So break it down your week. When can you do the meal planning bit? Like when can you go through recipes or whatever? Monday evening. Yep, cool. So put that in your diary. Monday evening, set a 30-minute time frame for you to look for recipes for the week. And then when are you going to go shopping? And you know what? You really have to mentally prepare for this. I was coaching a lady and she hated it so much. She hated meal prep so much. I'm like, look, let's mentally prepare for this. Let's make this an event. Make it an event in your head. If you go into this going, oh, I've got to prepare my meals, you can tell what the outcome's going to be. It's going to be a crap outcome. So we've got to find a way within us to make peace with this because it's so important. We need to make this a must in our life. This is a priority, ladies, such a high priority. Okay. And if you need to get help, get the hubby on board, get the partner on board, get the kids on board. You shouldn't have to be doing this, shouldn't have to be your sole responsibility. Okay. That's what a lot of women just take this on. But you're a team, in your family unit, whatever it consists of, you are a team. So incorporate that help. Okay, Shani, so that's helpful. Monday evening, you're going to do your meal planning, and then you've got time set in your diary for grocery shopping. I see. I am making this an afterthought. Yep, make it a priority. This is a must. Wendy, I keep menu plans in the same notebook so I can reuse them on rotation. That's an awesome tip too. Thanks for sharing that, Wendy. Definitely. Really, all you would need is 1 month's worth, like 4 weeks, and just rotate it. I've thought of doing that, but it's I've just gotten to the stage where I'm cooking enough dinner to have for lunch the next day, and that was a big step for me. So I'm there. But that makes sense. I think my sister does that too. It's good for organization as well. Really, really good. All right. So get your mind in the game. This is a must. Get the family involved. Make it fun. Ask yourself, how can I make this more enjoyable? Because if you don't ask yourself the question, the brain is not going to give you the answer. And if you kind of just get out of bed and trudge over to the table and go, oh, I've got to work out what I'm going to eat for the week, you're not going to get inspo. Inspiration doesn't come when you're closed. Groceries online are good. Excellent. Yep, it's true. And Jackie, it also stops those impulse buys as well. So get your mind into it. How can I enjoy this? This is how I started to enjoy cooking. I had to ask, well, I'm here. I have to be here. So I may as well try and enjoy it. And that's when I had the great idea to drink wine. And that's why after about a month or two of doing that, I realized that wasn't the, the right thing. That was a band-aid. It wasn't a real solution. So I had to make it like a meditation. I would light some candles. I would put on a comedy podcast. I would listen to some law of attraction stuff. Make this a little ceremony for yourself when you're cooking in the kitchen and when you're doing something you don't want to do. Ask yourself, how can I enjoy it? And make it into an experience. The Italian nonnas, they see food as love and they are making the love and the pasta in the kitchen and doing all this stuff and they love it. So maybe, what's the word? Embrace or embody. Um, just embody someone that loves this. I mean, I watched Jamie Oliver cooking and he's so passionate and he absolutely loves it. And I don't think I'll ever feel that way about a tart or, a ratatouille. But I get his passion and I can certainly take from that and incorporate into my space, my kitchen, those elements of me. So own it and make it a part of who you are. Okay, and it doesn't have to be 5-star mise en place meals. It can just be something as simple as steak and veggies. Keep it simple. How can I make this fun? Yes, ask yourself that, Shirley Ann, definitely. Um, you just have to ask yourself because it's going to be different for everyone. I can't tell you how to make it fun, but you can get some ideas for yourself about how to make it fun. And just Google everything. Google easy budget healthy meals. Taste.com's got a lot, millions of recipes. But yeah, Google's your friend here, ladies, and utilize it and just print out the popular ones, the ones that are the winners. And then, who said that before? Was it Maddie? Wendy said, keep them in a folder and then you can just rotate them. And then it's so easy. Okay, so Maddie, really interested in herbalism and the medical and spiritual properties of plants. I can see the food I'm eating is so lacking in goodness in life. Meals really full of wholesomeness. They say to eat a rainbow. Yeah, it's food is medicine. It really is, and fuel. I love the word. I fuel my body. I was talking to someone the other day, and she was saying that she just doesn't really like a lot of food. It's like, well, we're adults now. We're not kids anymore. So playing the tough love card, I'm sorry, but sometimes you just have to do stuff because it's good for you. I never really liked green tea at all. Hated it. Ugh, disgusting. But I just thought it's so good. I really want to have it because it's good, but I just hated it. But I learned how to like it, and now it's my morning ritual that I love and adore. I love my green tea, and I put lemon juice in it, and every morning it's just my morning ritual. It's my little gift for me. So Jackie got your 11-year-old to help with dinner tonight. Excellent. Yes, I know. It's great. If you can instill this love of cooking in your children as early as possible, I highly recommend it. My 14-year-old son just this week had said, Mum, I want to cook more dinners. I'm like, hallelujah. I think he wants to do it though because he thinks it gets him out of doing the dishes. Ulterior motive. But he's smart. Okay, so that's some good places to start. So let's just make sure. Yep. So really, possibly the part that's missing for a lot of people is that you're not making it a must. It's more of an afterthought. You're not putting yourself first. And this is what I learned from Tony Robbins. I had to make my health a must. And this is, you know, the brain sometimes distraction and being busy, I want to say it's like a disease, it's like an epidemic. We feel that we have to be totally busy all the time, but we don't have to. If you put this in your diary, if it's in the diary, it gets done, doesn't it? If you've got your list of things to do, it gets done. If it's not on your list, it gets forgotten about. So you're important enough to put it at the top of the list. And when this is done, everything else flows for you. You will have more time because you're not thinking about what you're eating. You're not constantly on the run, going from one thing to the next constantly and continually. So put yourself first. I want to hear how you go with this. I really would love your feedback. What are you implementing? Just tell me in the comments now. What are you implementing? Yes, busy women syndrome. I know. I try not to subscribe to that. I think I do a pretty good job of it. I really want to, my focus at the moment is incorporating more fun into my life because I'm very serious about a lot of things, very serious about food addiction for 10 years. So yeah, it's just now it's about I need to sort of, I ask myself, how can I have some more fun? So this is just something to me, it's a non-negotiable for me because like I said, I cannot function if I don't know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. So if it's all written down, it's okay. It's all calm in Lisa land. Okay, so come on, ladies, tell me, what are you implementing straight away from these strategies, from these tips? You're just going to take it slow, do 2 days at a time to start with, and then build up from there. You're making it a must. Are you going to go with a theme night? So you're going to just Google everything that you can about cheap, easy, nutritious meals. Are you going to use the commercial breaks more productively in the TV at night time? There's lots of little tips there. So Jackie, put your daily walk in your calendar and get your clothes out the night before. Excellent. So get your exercise clothes out the night before. That's an excellent tip. All right. Well, I might have a little sip of water. I get so excited about this stuff. It's really, really cool. Mm. All right, here we go, Maddie. 4-day meal planning. I think is the go for you. Beautiful. And shopping each Saturday mornings at markets instead of the grocery store. Beautiful. I love it. Write this down somewhere. Shani, I'm going to plan my meals and my shop and get organized Monday nights for the week. Sunday is for the family time. Excellent. All right, beautiful. I love it. Shirley Ann, if we keep saying things like time poor and busy, then that's what we keep creating. Exactly. What if we have ease and flow? There's plenty of time. Yep, for you to do everything. That's exactly right. Wendy, I'd like to try your chai pudding recipe and make a few in advance. Yep, beautiful. And you're going to try my breakfast too. All right, I'll give you one more time what it is so you can write it down. So I just get 1 tin of coconut milk, the tin of coconut milk. So that's 3 serves. And then I put 3 serves of protein powder in it. The one I use is a chocolate powder. And then I use 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. Chia seeds. I always say chia seeds. So I put the coconut milk and the powder and whisk it until it's just warm. Then I take it off the hob, put in the 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and just whisk it. Then I leave it for 5 minutes. I'll probably make my cup of tea while that's expanding. Once that's expanded after about 5 minutes, I've got my 3 containers out, half a cup each in each container. There's a little bit left over, so I portion it out evenly. The lids go on, and then of course I'll probably be eating one that morning, so I'll just get my half a cup of frozen raspberries, defrost them, and then mix it all in the microwave together, heat it all up, and it is amazing. So let me know how that goes. Easy meals and not put pressure on yourself with time-consuming meals. Yeah, that's it, Jackie. Like it can just be so easy, like a steak and a baked potato, or just some easy veggies, or roast up. Depending on how many trays you've got in the oven, 2 trays of veggies. Roast up some red onions and asparagus and cauliflower and mushrooms and whatever is in season, all that kind of stuff. So just do stuff in bulk if you can, as much as you can. Okay, so I guess part of the thing is, thank you, Shani. You're amazing for writing that down there. Beautiful. So the thing is that most people that I see are just stuck in their old habits, and the patterns, and they just don't know how to make themselves a priority. And they're just so used to letting the brain be in charge. I mean, I lived in the fight or flight syndrome for decades. I lived in fear. I lived in running from one thing to the other. I lived in not being good enough. I lived in, oh my God, what's the next thing that I have to deal with? We live in this fight or flight scenario, never taking the time to put ourselves first. All these messages keep popping up. Okay, so I'm just going to read a little bit here just so I get it all right. Okay, so you try for a little while, but then it doesn't take much for your brain to make it all too hard for you. And that's where you get back into your old habits again. So fight or flight, that's you. Yeah, totally get it. So it's easy to be committed with your focus and everything at the moment because we're here, we're live, we're organized, we're getting organized. But let's just see how long it takes before the brain goes, this is all too hard. I want to go back to my old ways. So this is where you need to take control, okay? And this is where breaking that habit is actually doing stuff that you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. And that's how success has happened for me with overcoming food addiction. I wanted to eat that food, but I didn't want to eat it, if you know what I mean. So Shani lives in fight or flight. That's why you can't lose weight. Okay, girls, look, you're in the right place. I feel so glad that you're here, really changing these things around and just realizing it's actually the brain and you have the power to change it. So yeah, you do well for a little while, but it doesn't take much for the brain to make it all too hard. And then that's when you just go back into your old habits and patterns. So the thing that people are most aware of, though, it's their weight. It's because that's what they focus on. They can see that they're not losing weight. And that's why people will reach out to me and contact me. And so as soon as I start working with people, they soon realize just how strongly these patterns have been running their life. And they start to see ways to get their power back from food. So there was just a decision made in the brain at some point to protect you and keep you safe. And food was the chosen medium for that, basically. So when you start seeing ways that you can start getting back your power from food, you're breaking the patterns and habits. You're focusing on what you're doing well instead of always focusing on what you're not doing well. That's when basically my clients will start saying to me, I had some almonds and a mandarin instead of a bag of chips, and the block of chocolate. Sharon told me she was going to donate a beautiful shirt that she had to charity because it didn't fit her anymore. But after working with me for 10 weeks, it fits her now, so she didn't have to get rid of it. Um, so one client told me that her cholesterol was down, her weight was down, her blood sugar was down, um, her blood pressure was down, and her doctor just said, look, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's working. So this is because we worked out what will work for the individual. So it's all individual. Like I said before, I can't tell you how to make this fun, but we can work together and you can work out ways to make it fun as well. Could you put your 3-day plan in the group? And as an example, also, what do you eat for sweet snacks? At usually the 2-week mark for you, Maddie, I usually do super well and super good. Then it's a huge physical and emotional binge and just quit. Yeah. See, ladies, I really appreciate your comments so much because it just makes us all realize that it's a pattern, it's a habit, and you're not alone. And it's happening to so many people out there. Jackie, put a 3-day plan in the group, and as an example, it's a bit tricky because I'm not like a nutritionist or a dietitian. I have worked with a nutritionist, an Adelaide nutritionist, and she has supplied me with a 4-week meal plan. If you're interested in something like that, I can talk to you about that. But it's a bit, because I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, I can sort of tell you what I eat, and I'll put my photos up on Facebook and stuff about what I eat. So I can do something like that. But it's just a bit of a fine line for me because I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I work with the mind stuff. So um, people are just fed up with the struggle, the daily struggle and the turmoil, that they're feeling frustrated and stuck following all of this mainstream advice about diets and boot camps and fads and superfoods, and all that sort of stuff. So it's just not working. And then what happens is you end up blaming yourself because you struggle so much to overcome this emotional eating. So sometimes they think that they have to accept their fate. And I had a client tell me that this week. And I remember going to, used to be Miller's clothing store at Mount Barker, and buying size 16 jeans because I thought, well, I'm just going to stop fighting it because clearly this is just my fate. This is who I'm meant to be. And I bought those size 16 jeans, also justifying it, saying I would need the bigger size because I wear, being so cold here in the hills, I would need to wear tights and other things under it as well. So, we make these justifications to try and make ourselves feel better. And accepting your fate is just, yeah, it's pretty far in when you get to that point, I think. And you just get so sick of thinking about this constantly and having this ruling your life. And I was so sick of myself. I can certainly relate to that. So glad now that I've come through all this out the other side and helping people get their power back around food. Helping them to heal their relationship with food is so rewarding. And seeing women go from confused and frustrated and overwhelmed to confident and sending me messages saying that they've been binge free for 7 days. So that's what I love. That's why I do what I love. So if you want to jump on a call, I always say to people to start with a free consult, just a free chat. What have you got to lose besides the weight, of course, and the habits and the patterns that are holding you back? So um, I really appreciate all the comments in here have been so enlightening and so supportive, and everyone can see that um, we're all in the same boat. It affects people at some point. It affects probably everybody at some point in their life. Thank you, Shirley Ann. Lovely. Yeah, you feel like that a lot. Yeah. I'll put the link in the comments for the phone chat call. So yeah, if you want to find out some more info about how to turn your eating habits around, how to get more peace with food and heal that relationship with food, it can be tricky. I would love to support you on that journey, and it's a complete honor for me to be here presenting this to you tonight. Thanks for sharing all your tips and hints. Appreciate all your time and helping us. Absolute pleasure, Samantha. Let me know over the next couple of days in the Adelaide Women's Emotional Eating Support Group, how you're going with this. Let me know, and I can certainly help support you through that as well. Thank you so much for your time tonight, ladies. This has been a truly wonderful experience, and I appreciate that you've been here so much. Thank you. It's all overwhelming, so good to know that just small steps. Exactly. Keep it simple, small steps. Exactly. That's how you get anywhere with anything in life. So excellent. Feel free to post me some pictures of your beautiful meals that you're going to be creating in the group. I would love to see it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.